I think we got time for one more, and then I need to do a few announcements.
Okay, we have a question from Barry who asks, when conditions deteriorate so much, when the evidence of the election fraud and corruption is undeniably presented, when the Durham indictments hold accountable the hundreds of bad actors that the general populace awakens to the deviant leadership, a groundswell of resistance will finally arise and sweep the culprits out of their positions of control. The military will maintain security while a new leadership is installed. Does that make a likely scenario for the next year?
Is this Barry Varon? What's the last name?
It is, yes.
Yeah, hello, Barry. I think I would have recognized that even if I hadn't heard your first name. And I want to say, first of all, thank you for such a thoughtful overview. I really see it more as a contribution of very savvy wisdom than a question. I'm fully aligned with that because we've got so many amazing people in this Freedom Portal, and I've been saying for a while, this isn't just you guys learning from me. This is a high-level conversation where I'm really learning from you. We're all learning from the guests. The guests are learning from you, and Barry's a great example. We've been in communication some about the project that he's working on and its potential function in the Solutions Hub. So Barry, can you turn your camera on? I don't see you yet.
My camera, let's see.
Let me invite you to give people, like, literally, this is a real challenge, but to give people a 2-minute summary of what you have been working on and a potential role that you see for its contribution into the Solutions Hub.
All right. I've been working for 46 years on knowledge integration. I discovered back in 1976 that Aristotle made reference to 4 causes, and as a young psychologist who was very concerned about the injustice in the world, what can I do as an individual? And as a psychologist, I know about the mind and what is the archetype, and the artifacts of the mind is knowledge and words, concepts. So I dug into this principle of 4 causes. His words were a formal cause, the material cause, the efficient cause, and the final cause. I changed that around to more modern language like the end, the means, the method, and the result.
Right.
And then I began to say, well, if he's saying that everything you know is made up of 4 causes, well, that means then everything under that, those 4 causes, are made up of 4 causes. And I realized, gee, that's a mathematical principle of division, of binomial expansion. Actually, the Pythagorean theorem and the Pascal triangle.
That's right.
And so I saw there's mathematics to this, there's logic to it, there is then being able to put together what is the end of knowledge, what is the means, what is the method of knowledge, what is the result. And when I put this all together over 46 years, I stepped back and I said, oh my gosh, this has to do with intention, cognition, rationality, and realization. And that is human nature. So knowledge actually turns out to be human nature. And if we have an ethical, coherent, comprehensive platform architecture for a whole world to run on, we can all collaborate, work together. This is a dynamic structure that everybody's contribution will add to the whole. And the bad guys are organized, we're not. But this is a means to organize everybody on the good side of things, and they won't have a chance.
Yeah, beautiful. I really appreciate your being so succinct on that. And, you know, for those of you familiar with our solutions model, we invite people to identify their purpose, then their sector, then their issue, and then their level of engagement. And the level of engagement is, do you want to meet immediate needs? Do you want to work on changing the systems? Or do you want to work on the philosophical aspect, on the consciousness shift, actually work on worldview itself? And when Barry first sent me his materials and I read through them, I just felt such a sense of not only relief that, okay, well, I don't have to do that one. Somebody did that. And also just excitement that the conversation around worldview is already here. It so transcends authoritarianism and nationalism and governments and that kind of stuff, and goes right to the heart of who we are as human beings and how we can align as consciousness rather than coerce or subvert or any of the kind of power struggles, because it's this type of worldview work that Barry's been doing that sets people free, not to be just on their own, but to be a free individual and then collaborate successfully with others. So Barry, we're really looking forward to working with you in the Solutions Hub. I'm overdue on a response to your last email. Hopefully I'll get to that. I'm going on my break on Monday, and I take things like that with me and have time to think about things more than I do in my regular daily schedule. But I'm really looking forward to your contribution into this whole network. So thanks for coming on.
Terrific. Thank you.
Okay, so let me make a few announcements.